All right, everyone. This is Idris, the pretty house guy, and I am excited tonight because guess what's going down tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm going to do a 3-day challenge. It is going to be Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. It's going to be between probably 7 p.m. to about 8, 8:30, 9. I can get kind of long winded. Anyway, what this challenge is going to be all about is how can you create real estate cash flow, $10,000 a month and more within 12 months? And here's the best part about it, you don't even have to buy any real estate whatsoever. I remember one of the biggest things that stuck out when I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad was how impactful real estate is. One of the most beautiful things about real estate is that, for one, it's the cash flow. Every month you got money coming in, month out, month in, month out. Also, of course, you have your tax benefits. You have your mortgage interest deduction. You have your depreciation. You have all these write-offs that you can have. And then not only that, and this is where most people get excited, it's the appreciation of the house. The values of real estate tend to go up long term. And then you have someone who's staying in that house who's paying down that mortgage. Well, long term, when you own property, this is almost a guaranteed way to create financial independence for yourself. Now, the only downside is it can take a substantial amount of time to be able to create that wealth for yourself, right? So you got to be patient when you're creating wealth, right? That's what a lot of people talk about, good things come to those who wait. Because I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, when you have about 5 to 10 properties on free and clear, no mortgages on them, and you're just getting that cash flow, that's a recipe for financial independence for a lot of people. Here's the challenge, though. The challenge is, first of all, you have to be able to qualify to be able to acquire these houses, right? And typically, when you're doing real estate investing, if you're doing it the traditional way, the lender is going to require you have to put 20% down because it's not your primary residence. You also have to have pretty good credit. You got to be able to qualify for the loan. And then not only that, you need to have pretty good job in place. They want to make sure, in case the residents aren't able to pay, that you're going to be able to qualify to make payments on this house. So it could be a huge endeavor up front to be able to acquire this real estate. But then not only that, especially in this high interest rate environment we're in right now, if you do cash flow, it may only be about $200-300 a month. Now, that's not really a lot of money. For example, if you have, a pretty nice car, it's going to cost you $100 every time you fill that car up. For example, I took my two daughters, 18 years old. I took them to Chick-fil-A the other day. It was 30 some dollars. And you're like, man, things are really getting expensive because of inflation. Obviously, taxes may go up and everything. Well, what you're going to learn, this is what I'm so excited about, is with this 3-day challenge, you're going to learn how can you create $10,000 net. This is net after all expenses of cash flow within 12 months. And here's the best part. You don't even need to own the real estate. You can control the real estate. You can get all the benefits from the real estate without the liability of ownership of the real estate. And as many of you know, I'm known as a pretty house guy. I deal with nice houses and nice neighborhoods. But once I found out about this, I went all in on it. One of the challenges with teaching people creative real estate. So let me give you a little bit about my background. I've been investing in real estate since 2003. Wow, it's been 22 years. I feel old. I'm about to be 45 in August. But nonetheless, the way that I learned about real estate was through lease options, subject to investing, as well as seller financing. These are wonderful ways of being able to acquire property without having to put, significant amount of money down, without having to go through all the stringent underwriting requirements through a lender. So that's how I flourished and everything. But let me tell you what the challenge is once I start teaching other people these concepts. It's a learning curve. It's something in which, in the very beginning, you're going to go through a lot of no's before you find somebody to say yes to your creative offer, right? Now, long term, this is something that's really going to pay dividends for you long term. The challenge is, especially in today's economic environment, we need to be able to cash flow now. We don't have time to wait 6, 9, 12, 18 months before we can start cash flowing. You hear about people, a good gateway into real estate investing is wholesaling real estate. And basically what that is you're going to find a deep discounted property that you're able to find, put it under contract, and you're going to be able to assign it to probably a rehabber for a spread. You may charge a $5, $10, $15, $25,000 fee. Now, that is a great way to be able to make money in real estate. The only problem is it's so competitive. You have so many people in the marketplace who are looking to do the same exact thing. Another thing is you never know when your next deal is going to come. Well, what I'm going to share with you tomorrow, I'm going to share with you tomorrow a strategy to where within the next 30 to 45 days, you're going to be able to cash flow. Not $200, $300 a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. Imagine what type of economic impact that can have in your financial life within the next 4 weeks, the next 6 weeks, for you to have that type of income stream coming in. You're going to be in a position to where you can pay down debt. You're going to be in a position to where you're able to put more money away for retirement if you haven't been able to save properly for it. It's going to be able to allow you to ensure that your children are able to get the education that you know that they deserve. Many of us, especially around my age, in your 40s and 50s, we may have aging parents who have fixed incomes. And we're going to be in a position to where we can provide them with financial assistance without it coming out of our personal cash flow. These are some of the significant things that you're going to be able to do. And here's the best part about this, y'all. What I'm going to share with you is recession proof. It's not going anywhere. As long as there's human beings alive, people will always have a demand for safe, clean, affordable housing. So let me kind of give you a preview of what the 3 nights will be, okay? The first night, it's a paradigm shift, everyone. It doesn't take 30 or 40 years to retire anymore. It doesn't. You can be in a position to create financial independence in 12, 18, 24 months. The second night, I'm going to share with you the framework of how you can create $10,000 of monthly net real estate cash flow without the need to buy the house. Then the third night, how do you get started and start cash flowing within the next 30 to 45 days? Just imagine that. 30 days from now, today is June 18th. July 18th or 19th, you can have cash flow $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 or more coming in after all expenses are paid. How beautiful is that? Like I said, this is recession proof. I don't care if we're in a great economy. I don't care if we're in a down economy. I don't care if we have Republicans in office. It doesn't matter if Democrats are in office. This framework I'm going to share with you is going to be able to work time in, time out, time in, time out. And it can totally change your financial future for your family. So as we roll into July, which is going to be our third quarter, we're going to have 6 months left in the year. And if we start thinking about New Year's resolutions, we all have the same New Year's resolutions every year. What is it? We want to get in the best shape of our lives, and we want to move ahead financially. That's typically almost everyone's New Year's resolution. I'm not sure where you are in regards to that right now. However, I will assure you of this. If you get serious, if you make a commitment as we go into the holiday season, you are going to have the best New Year's you've ever had as we move into 2026. I can assure you of that. So, what I want you to do is, wherever you're watching, I wanted to make sure that you click on the link and register for the 3-day workshop. Just send a comment if you need me to send you the link directly, okay? And register for this event. It is truly going to be something that's game changing. Hey, Charlotte, how are you doing? It's truly going to be something that is game changing. I'm going to go over some things that I haven't shared with many people. One of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm integrating the whole AI into this business model. And it allows us to be able to accelerate the rate of us being able to have success in this business. It enables us to be able to, kind of close those gaps to unknown information that we may not have had access to, and then I'm going to teach you kind of my own AI methodology as well. AI stands for artificial intelligence, where we're looking at things from like a programming and an engineering perspective and everything. Let me tell you what what I've done is I created an AI triangle. And let me tell y'all what my AI triangle is. The first AI is acquire information. Once we acquire that information in of itself is just potential. It means nothing whatsoever if we don't do anything with it, right? So we acquire information, okay? Now, once we acquire that information, we have to apply that information. That's when the rubber meets the road. We apply what we have learned. And then once we apply it, we analyze the results that we get from that information. So acquire information, that means I learned something new in my head, okay? Now let me go out and apply what I have learned. When I apply it, this is life. Things are not perfect. It is what it is, right? So when I apply it, I have to analyze the application of that information. And when I analyze it, one or two things are going to happen. I either have great results, or maybe the results aren't what we think they should be. And let me give you an easy analogy. I want you to think about any of us who have had children. When babies are first born, the only thing they can do is lie on their stomach and lie on their back. That's all they can do. And then if they need to move, they may kind of squirm and everything. They may roll or whatever. That's it. Then they start crying and everything, right? So they are learning, they're teaching their body how to kind of roll over and stuff and everything. But then what happens? They start crawling, right? So they're going to acquire information, meaning if I move my legs and my knees and my feet a certain, and then my hands a certain way, I can crawl. Then I'm going to apply the information I've acquired, right? And then it's going to be an analysis or whatever. I'm not really getting to where I need to be. And how do babies communicate? Babies cry. That's how they communicate. right? So then they try something else. And eventually what happens are those babies are going to start being able to put their hands on something and pull themselves up. They take 1 or 2 steps, then they fall down. Then the next thing you know, they take 3 or 4 steps, then they fall down. And then the next thing you know, they're able to walk, right? And the thing about babies are they all walk at different periods of time. Some babies walk faster. Some babies may take more time. However, by the time all of those babies get ready to go to kindergarten, unless they have some type of developmental disability, all of them are walking. And I say that analogy is with ourselves as adults and everything, sometimes we forget about that. You know, we want to have guaranteed results right now. The only way to have those guaranteed results is to acquire, apply, analyze. That's the only thing that you can do in life. And that's how our brain processes things and everything. So that's my personal AI. I want to go out, acquire information that it takes for me to become successful. Let me apply that information as fast as humanly possible, and let me analyze that information. If I'm not getting the results I want or I desire, I go back and try to acquire more information so I can apply it, so I can analyze it. Now, when I analyze it and I start getting favorable results, I start applying it even more. And the more I apply it, it's going to create a compound effect. And that's what we're going to be going over. You know, some of you, you may need the information. You're going to learn the information. It's just up to you to apply that information. And, you know, I'm going to go over various ways in which, you know, we can work together of how you can actually apply that information. And then from there, that is going to allow you to accelerate your rate of progress because you're not going to have to figure everything out on your own. You're going to be surrounded by individuals who've had success in this business model. And let me tell you the most beautiful part about this. This business model allows you not only to create financial independence for yourself, but you are going to be helping people along the way. So this is the true definition. I know you've heard, I want to make millions while making a difference. You truly can. And not only that, this can allow yourself a catalyst to really go after whatever the dreams and desires you have in life. You know, a lot of people say sometimes, follow your passion and the money will come. And that's cool. Here's the only problem with that. What if you suck at your passion? You may suck at it. And the money may never come or it's delayed. You don't have time for that. You can't tell your mortgage company, well, I'm working my passion, the money's going to come. Just stay with me. Just bear in. You can't tell Verizon, well, you know, I'm working on my passion, money's going to come. Just keep my phone on. You know, you can't do that. What I would say is let's develop the skill set, develop the money with that skill set. And now once you create financial independence, this gives you all the time that you need to really pursue your passion. Because what I'm going to share with you is not going to be anything where it's going to take 30, 40 hours a week. If you can invest 5 to 10 hours a week in this business model, you can create financial independence within 12 to 18 months. You can. And then once you start putting in the different systems and the different processes, you create a team. And then I'm telling you, we're going to learn about AI as well. Once you start implementing some of these, 21st century different type of things into your business model, it's just going to explode. And that's going to be the most beautiful thing or whatever. So I know it's kind of late. I just want to jump up here and let y'all know that, tomorrow is going down 7 p.m. You can register on Eventbrite. And what I'll do is send me a comment below this video, and then I'll message you the direct link. Make sure you sign up, but don't just sign up. You got to show up, right? Signing up doesn't mean anything. You got to show up. Show up, take notes, ask any questions, but most importantly, apply what you learn. All right. So I'm about to get ready to sign off. Thank all of you for viewing this. Whatever. If you have any questions, just DM me or whatever, and then we'll have a conversation. And then I will see all of you tomorrow. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.